I don't usually talk about this kind of thing publicly, but today I want to share something a little more intimate, a little more real, something most people don't say out loud. If you're a man trying to understand women, or simply someone curious about what goes on beneath the surface of female attraction, then stay with me. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't based on cliches or internet myths. It's based on real life, lived experience, and the small truths we often keep to ourselves. You see, when a woman is aroused, she rarely announces it. There's no blinking neon sign, no loud declaration. Instead, there are whispers, tiny signs that most people overlook. And that's what I'm here to talk about. The signs that she may not even realize she's giving off, but her body does. Her posture, her eyes, her breath, her skin, they speak. But only if you're paying close enough attention. I remember one moment vividly. I was sitting across from someone I liked, not in a flashy, over-the-top way, but in that quiet, fluttery kind of way where you can feel the air between you growing warmer. And as he spoke, I noticed myself leaning in without meaning to. I wasn't even conscious of it until later. My hand went up to my lips as I listened. I was playing with my necklace. Small things, yes, but in retrospect they meant a lot more. 1. Body language. When a woman is physically aroused, her body betrays her before her words do. She might not say a thing, but her actions will shift subtly. She'll lean in closer. She'll mirror your movements. Her pupils may widen just a touch. She may fidget in small, deliberate ways, touching her hair, crossing and uncrossing her legs, or letting her fingers linger just a moment longer than necessary. What's important to understand is that these are not calculated gestures. They are instinctive. Her body is trying to close the gap, even if her mind is still deciding what to do next. Attraction, especially physical attraction, has a way of pulling us forward, literally. And often, the body knows it before the heart does. The second sign, flushed skin. You might think blushing only happens in rom-coms, but let me assure you it's very real. And very telling. When we're turned on, our blood flow increases, and that means warmth spreads across the skin. You'll notice it in her cheeks, sure, but also down her neck, sometimes even across her chest if she's wearing something open. It's not always dramatic, but it's there. Subtle shift in tone. A warmth that wasn't there just a moment ago. And again, this isn't something we control. It's biology. A natural response to a rising internal heat. You might be talking about something completely unrelated, laughing, sharing a story, and then suddenly she's glowing a little more than usual. That's your cue. Now the third sign, and this one's even more subtle, her breathing. People don't pay attention to breathing unless it's obvious. But when a woman is aroused, her breath will shift. It becomes shallower, quicker, sometimes deeper depending on the moment. Her chest might rise more with each inhale. She might pause a little longer between sentences, just to collect herself. This happened to me once during a conversation that had nothing to do with intimacy. It was a coffee date, broad daylight, the most innocent setting you could imagine. But there was something about the way he looked at me, the way he leaned in. I felt my breath catch, then shift into a faster rhythm. And I remember thinking, does he notice? Probably not. Most don't. But it was real. The fourth sign is all in the eyes. People say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but they're also mirrors of attraction. When a woman is drawn to you, her pupils dilate. Not in a cartoonish, exaggerated way, but subtly, biologically. It's how the body reacts when it wants more of what it sees. More closeness. More connection. I once caught myself mid-conversation staring into someone's eyes a little too long. It wasn't deliberate. Just felt safe. Inviting. There was something about the silence between words that pulled me in like a gentle current. Later he asked me if I was always that intense. I laughed, but the truth was I wasn't trying to be. I was just there, fully present, and in that moment, yes, very much attracted. If you notice a woman holding your gaze, blinking less, or leaning her face just slightly forward, she's probably not just being polite. There's something stirring beneath the surface. And if her pupils seem a little wider than usual in soft lighting, it's not just your imagination. Her body is responding to you, even if neither of you has said a word about it. Now, the fifth and final sign. Heightened sensitivity to touch. This one is personal. I remember sitting next to someone at a gathering, and our knees brushed. Just lightly. But that tiny contact felt like a spark ran through my whole body. Not because it was inappropriate or bold, it wasn't, but because I wanted it. I was already tuned in, already feeling something, and that touch just lit the fuse. When a woman is aroused, her skin becomes more reactive. A hand on her shoulder, a brush of the fingers. Even the air around her skin can feel electric. That's not exaggeration. It's how the nervous system reacts. Everything heightens. Every little contact becomes charged. If she leans into your touch instead of pulling away. If she lingers when your hands meet or doesn't rush to create space after an accidental brush. These are not trivial things. They're signs. Her body is saying yes, even if it's still a whisper. So those are the 5 signs. Now, I'm not sharing this just for curiosity's sake. I'm sharing it because I've lived it, and I know how often men, good men, miss these moments. Not because they're clueless, but because they're focused on the wrong things. They're waiting for words, for bold moves, for green lights that are spelled out in flashing signs. But real desire doesn't work like that. Especially for women. Soft. It's gradual. Builds. It whispers before it roars. And it's expressed, not with declarations, but with instincts, biology, and a kind of emotional readiness that rarely comes with a speech. And listen, I know this must be said. These signs are not invitations. They are not promises. They are not contracts. Every human, woman or man, has the right to feel attraction without owing anything. But if you're someone who wants to build real connection, if you want to be present and sensitive and aware, then these signs matter. They help you understand. They help you respond, not just react. They help you listen, not just with your ears but with your eyes, your presence, your patience. Because in the end, intimacy isn't just about physicality. It's about attunement, about noticing, about caring enough to recognize the signs she may be too shy or too vulnerable to say out loud. So, the next time you're with someone and wondering if there's more beneath the surface, pause. Look closer. Breathe slower. Pay attention not to the words, but to the silences between them. That's often where the truth lives. And maybe, just maybe, you'll start to see what she's not saying, yet desperately wants you to understand.